another episode of Homegrown Hustle Podcast. I've got Karen Morehead. She's been in Forest Lake for 60-some years.
That's a long time.
A very active member of the community. How you doing today, Karen?
I'm doing just great. The expo is just so exciting.
It's been amazing.
The businesses have been putting themselves out so much to create an atmosphere of fun for the community.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got princesses out there singing and stuff. We might pop into a song here shortly in the middle of the live session, but we'll see. So Karen, tell everybody a little bit about you. I'm sure anyone in the Forest Lake community that watches this or hears this is going to know who you are, but for those that maybe don't.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity because I love this community so much. And, I was transported from Rice Street in St. Paul, which is a little difference from Rice Street to Forest Lake. But I've been so thrilled to be here ever since. My husband worked in the local grocery store. Okay. And so we immediately had a connection with many people. And I just joined things, and I've loved it ever since.
And you stay active. You're in you're part of the chamber, right?
I am.
And you're part of a few other things. You want to talk about those other organizations?
I do, because the newest one is the Good Samaritan Group. Okay. And our motto is, it feels good to do good.
I love that.
And I think I do too.
And it does feel good to do good.
And it does. People get back a lot more than they give when they put themselves out a little bit. And I was on the school board for 20 years. So I'm on a committee there just to keep my foot in the door. Oh, yeah. Make sure they're, keeping it straight in line. We have an amazing school district. Yeah. Very, very good school district. And so I'm on the SPEAK group, Substance Prevention Education Activity Coalition.
And
trying
is that
to get
in the school, or is that just the community in general?
It's a community grant that was given to the school district so that we can tell people the truth about what's really happening. Kids hear that everyone's vaping, everybody's drinking, and that's not true at all. And so it's an opportunity for us to give a positive message.
How long have you been doing that for?
That's about 1.5 years now, and I think the grant's up.
Still taking on new things, new projects after 60 years?
I have to stay busy.
That's awesome. So what are you the most excited about right now with everything that you got going on? What are you most excited about? It's hard to pick. Rotary is a big part of my life. I've been on the Rotary for 22 years. 22 years. And it's amazing. The opportunity we have for people to use our plunge for their fundraiser. The Rotary is an awesome organization.
Thank you. I try to tell the Lions we're better, but the Lions disagree.
Well,
what can you do?
As well they should. But
what can you do?
The whole purpose is to give back, to bring businesses together and find initiatives to get behind.
Well, and also third world countries. I've learned an awful lot about how other people live.
How good we got it.
Oh, wow. And how much we can, with a little bit of our help, we can make better days for them.
Yeah. I mean, having a perspective like that, for me, I always have so much gratitude and appreciation for where we're at, and giving, like you said earlier, it feels good to do good. Selfishly, it does feel good, but also the impact you make with stuff like that, it goes so far, and it makes you keep coming back, wanting to do it again, right?
Well, it does. And one of our local Rotarians, on her own, she and her husband started a foundation. It's called Food for His Children, and they started out with goats. So if you had someone who had everything, and you could give a Christmas present, you could send a goat to Tanzania, and it started out small. They now have a farm.
You got a goat farm?
Yes.
Like the little tiny cute goats?
To teach them how to farm in their own country. And the girls had trouble going to school there.
So they started goat education? Yeah,
and just by providing that goat, taught them about, because it's a hands up, not a hands down. We're not just giving them things just to give them. Yeah. Because then they're responsible for that goat and passing it on. But it's grown. The exciting part is it's grown so far. They now have in Tanzania a farm to teach them better how to farm their goats. And they also have a school so that girls can come and, this is just one person. This is what the world should be about. Don't sit home.
I agree. Yeah. And so, tell me about Forest Lake, when you first moved out here. What do you remember about Forest Lake?
Well, first of all, I fell in a ditch because it was late at night and I didn't know where I was going. That's how I met my husband's relatives.
How old were you?
19. And so, but we moved on West Broadway. Okay. When we got married, we moved to West Broadway. It was a dirt road. I should tell all this because this shows how old and how long I've lived here.
Proof.
But my kids could play in the street, and my family would think I was out in the boonies. You know, they thought Forest Lake was somewhere far away that you'd have to stop for lunch somewhere. Yeah. But then the freeway came, and wow, everything changed.
Sped things up.
Oh, West Broadway. You wouldn't want to play out in the street in West Broadway.
Please don't, children.
But joined St. Peter Church, and just been an amazing place to raise my kids and now my grandkids. So
your whole family's still
we let one slip away.
They'll come back.
I hope so. You know, I used to say they could go, but the grandkids have to stay.
Yeah.
And at one
we
point,
gotta keep it easy on Karen. She's got a lot of stuff on her calendar. So
one point in my life, I had 9 grandkids on my block.
Talk about convenience.
I know. Now I only have 6. 3 moved away.
Okay. Still convenient.
5 minutes away.
Wow. So your whole family's like in the community.
They are. My son is principal at St. Peter's Church.
Okay.
And the one next door to me, he's on international sales, so he's all over the world. Mm-hmm. And the other one that moved away, he's a teacher in Big Lake, Minnesota.
Okay.
So
still not too far away.
Not too far, no. Not
That's
out of
all
the
right.
not out
He'll
of the
come
state.
back though. So let's talk about like when you joined the Rotary. Like, were you did something change in your life where you're like, okay, I got to fill my kit, I got to stay busy with something? Or
it was
like,
a complete accident.
Okay, tell me about the
chief
accident.
of police at that time, Dave Schwartz, and I both grew up on Rice Street.
Okay.
And so
in St. Paul.
And out of the blue, Corbett Johnson, who's now passed away, but he was very active, he nominated me, and I got a Paul Harris Award. I didn't even know what the Paul Harris Award was. I'd never been to a Rotary meeting. Mm-hmm. And so it was all brand new to me. And so Dave and I were walking up, and he said, who would have thought 2 kids from Rice Street would be getting this award? And from then on, I saw that they have the Pledge of Allegiance. They have the 4-way test. They say a prayer before meals. Why wasn't I a member? So I joined.
So it was a no-brainer for you at that point.
And it wasn't anything that drew me in.
They haven't been able to get rid of you yet.
No,
so.
They maybe have tried, but no.
So tell me about the Rotary now and like what they do here in the community, because there's some awesome efforts that they put in with the polar or the plunge and everything like that.
We can't use polar plunge.
I caught myself.
Yes. Getting cold for your cause. So what we've been able to do is put together the fundraiser so that all the nonprofits that want to come can join, and they get 70%. It's a very expensive deal to set that plunge up. So Rotary takes 30, but it's a no-brainer for them. They just have to get people to sponsor them, and they can raise the money. And they've raised a lot of money over the years.
How many years have you done that for?
The plunge, myself, I've only plunged 3 times.
I mean, I didn't expect that.
But,
how many years has the plunge been taking place?
Oh, wow. I bet it's more like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I got friends that are from the West Coast and down south, and they think Minnesotans are the craziest people when they see us do that.
It's a health thing.
It's good for you.
It is. Open your jeans.
We're the ones that like pioneered the cold plunge for everybody. Like it just now became popular. Karen's been doing it for a while. So.
and I didn't like it this year. We had to have a pool because the good Lord didn't give us enough ice.
Talk about a weird year. Did Forest Lake ever ice over this year? Did you get a full ice over?
Not that you could confidently drive
the
on.
The ice fishermen were bumming this year. Like, not a good year for ice fishing.
That's the thing, you know, we had a beautiful winter if you didn't do winter sports and didn't rely on winter for your walks. Business.
Exactly. So why, like, do you ever ask yourself, like, when you're going to slow down or, like, stop doing all the stuff that you're doing? Or is that, like, not even in my thought? But my kids, they're always thinking about it, you know. Don't you think you should slow down and stuff? And, you know, with me, I love people. I get my energy from people. So that COVID thing, when people were stuck in, I had to find every place in the world that would still let me out. But there are some people that was very good to them because, you know, they get their energy from quiet. Well, it was good for our business because now people are at their house when they're working and they can see problems now. But
I keep praying to get a pest because I want to use your business because I love all the people that are there.
Well, let's just get you signed up and it'll be really easy. We can do that off air, though. So, Karen, let's talk a little bit about the chamber. Maybe speak to this camera right here and talk about, you know Nanette pretty well, right?
Amazing.
Can we give Nanette a little shout out about all the things that she does for the businesses here?
Just absolutely full of energy and ideas. And she's brought such enthusiasm into the chamber. I've been kind of a member for a while, but now I'm full-fledged a member. And I'm so happy to meet the new businesses and with the ambassadors that we go out and we meet the new businesses and welcome them to the community. Mm-hmm. And certainly appreciate if they join because there's a lot of advantages.
Tell me about them.
Well, look at this expo.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the businesses we have are amazing. So all we need is a place to showcase them.
Platform.
And to get people to say shop local first. Mm-hmm. And if you can't find it, then there's things online you can do. But I think that's been our focal point, to shop local.
Shop local.
And they pay our taxes. We don't want to lose our businesses.
And there's a lot of businesses here. Like coming out here, I'm going to be honest. I've been out in the Forest Lake area, but I did not realize how much business took place out here. There's some big businesses like in proximity with Polaris and stuff like that. But
did you see the fire truck out in front?
Yeah, I thought it was a spaceship when I pulled up here, and I didn't know what that is.
It's made just for airports.
Really?
Yes.
So it is a spaceship.
It kind of is.
That's hilarious. So
the chamber reaches out, I think, and tries every which way to help businesses.
They bring so much value and energy through creating these connections. And it really is the lifeblood, those connections and the energy you talk about when you're meeting people. That's one of the things I love about this podcast is I get to talk to people and really peel back some layers. Then we get to listen to it again later, right?
Nice.
So if somebody who has so much energy and been doing it for so long, connecting in the Forest Lake community, got any advice for somebody who's a little bit younger?
Many of those people, many younger. The older I get, the more people there are there. But I just say, put yourself out there because it's not maybe easy for some people. Some people it's easier. Mm-hmm. But if it's not easy, just join something. When you move into a new area, become connected with somebody. And you're amazed at that point then how many others that connects you to.
Yeah.
And when you raise children, you have the support of others. Like I say, I've been involved with our school district for a long time. And even when my children were gone, I was a good advocate for telling people in the community, it's not how much money they ask for, it's how they spend the money they get.
Yeah.
And if you can get that across to people and they get the trust. So I just really enjoyed all my time here in Forest Lake, meeting all the people, joining with the businesses and with the school, and
really making
it's brought
impact.
It's given me way more than any time I put into it.
But you kind of leave some waves, right? You do make big impacts in a lot of different
I hope,
places.
But
I'm super grateful for everything you've done, everything you've welcomed Abracadabra to the community. That's been awesome coming on our show here. So we do have a question that we ask every guest. It's a big one. You ready?
Okay.
So our show's called the Homegrown Hustle Podcast, right? So what does the word hustle mean to you?
Energy. Enthusiasm means other things too, but we won't go into that. But
you are a hustler, though.
Well, I guess.
You're like a hustler for hope.
Oh, that I like.
Love that.
That
we
I
should
like.
start a gang.
We should, and we wouldn't be the only two. There's a lot of good people out there.
This community is amazing.
For hope, I like that. But it does take some getting out of yourself.
Yeah, being uncomfortable, but when you realize everybody has their own things, right? Everyone has their own insecurities, and those insecurities are what make people unique and make them them. Now that's the beauty of interacting with other people is you get to learn.
100%.
Right? So I love that.
I learned something just the other day because there are some people that it's harder to get along with. Mm-hmm. And Abe Lincoln once said, I don't like that person very well. Maybe I should get to know him better. And I thought,
I love that.
Isn't that the truth? If you just take things
instead of just shutting it down,
right?
Let's
there's
explore
always
this.
something. Yeah, if you get to just talking, there's always something or somebody that you're involved with. So we keep trying.
If you see Karen around town, tell her hello. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Super grateful for you coming on here.
Well, it's been an honor. My first podcast, and it's been pretty easy talking with someone like you. So
beautiful. Thank you. That's what we go for. We try to make it easy here. Thanks for coming on the Homegrown Hustle. Have a great rest of your day.
No problem. Thank you for asking.
Thanks again for joining us on Homegrown Hustle. Our local business community thrives because of the brilliant leaders right here in our backyard. And it's been an absolute privilege to provide them with a platform to share their invaluable expertise. Stay tuned for more insight, wisdom, and inspiration from our local business champions. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Together,
we'll continue to nurture and expand our homegrown success stories. Matt Eichmann signing off until our next insightful episode.